anime, there's always your token funny characters, and it has that. There's two characters in this anime, and spoiler alert, that's Ryder and that's Waver. They're paired up together, usually together for comedic relief, and usually you will have your action, but then those two characters will also have their funny moments and will also show that this anime could also be funny and also be serious at the same time. There's also a character, they call him Bluebird or Blue something. I'm not, his name's quite, well, I find his name hard to pronounce, but he's also quite funny too. So yeah, it has its funny moments too, along with action.
So how would you rate it though? Because you've been telling me like every single day to watch it. Watch it, like it's a must watch. I've been thinking about it, but that's only because, you kept telling me, and that's kind of holding me back a little bit because sometimes the hyped stuff slows me down a little bit, and I just don't want that. But tell me, as in like a rating, 1 out of 5, or like 1 out of 10. How good is it to you?
Fair enough. I guess for most TV shows, I guess if there's a lot of hype, then usually once you watch it, if it doesn't meet the hype, then you're sort of disappointed by it. But the thing about this,
Game of Thrones,
which meets the hype, the thing about this anime though is it does meet the hype, and aside from like a few hits and misses there, but then again, you could say that with most anime. But the thing about this anime is the fact that it is ambitious, and the fact that it does everything so well. You could almost say that maybe those mistakes you could forgive. So yeah, as far as a rating goes, I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Well, since we got that out of our heads, my head too, for Fate Zero, I've always wanted to talk about Sword Art Online because you started watching that too.
Yeah.
And have you started watching the second season yet?
Yeah.
So how good was the second season though? That was just like,
I feel like the second season was just one big troll. That's the best way I could like describe it. Yeah, because the thing is, me personally, I play a lot. I play like role playing games. Like, of course, I'm not one of those, but I'm not one of those like people though, like that get overly obsessed with it. But I could understand the fascination with these role playing games. Like, these for example, I'm really into Guild Wars 2 right now. Okay, but first I have to say copyright on that because we don't want to get sued.
yeah.
All right, and I can understand how people are amazed by that. And the thing is, they set that up with the first season. They give you a very relatable scenario, but a scenario that probably would be every like gamer's dream if it would be set up like that, where it's a couple years in the future and you actually have a game where you could actually download your consciousness into it and like be that person. But then at the same time, it's also, there's the creator of this game set up this thing, so basically characters become how they look in basically real life. So instead of so if you have like a pedophile in there, like you like, it shows that they're a pedophile dressed up as like a little small girl, like they would in regular RPGs. But since it has that adds another dynamic to the system. So now now you understand all these characters through a certain degree. Like, for example, for most RPGs, you really don't get to see these characters, or you sort of see how they are just as that person.
I'll interrupt you on that one because the character development in that show was horrible. I'm gonna admit to that, because every single episode you go into, it's just like you talk about that one character and then she's gone, and then the second one, she's gone. Like episode 2, he's in a group full of newbies to him, and basically he built a relationship with another girl in that show, in that episode, that one episode alone. Eventually she died. Spoiler alert, whoever hasn't watched this. She dies, and like now she's already been forgotten. You move on to episode 3 or 4, he meets with a pedophile girl, that short dragon tamer. It's different. The development wasn't there because you just haven't gotten enough. And like you see them at the end. Spoiler alert again. You see them at the end, but it's just that the character development for all of these, except for Kirito, the main protagonist, male, it's just it just didn't work, especially with the cousin that he had that she liked him. Like, we don't even know why at first, really. Like, because she liked him because he was in a helmet and she felt bad. That's not like, a perfect character development. And Asuna, we all saw her as like at first the badass freaking wielding sword master. You go into the later episodes and now she's just like, Kirito's like rape doll. Like you make out, like all they do is like hold hands. She turns from a beast to like this typical like female protagonist that you would see in most other anime, and like it just doesn't work. That's why it just.
Well, yeah, I never said there was like good character. I'm just saying like for most RPGs, you base them on how they look, their character looks. So with that dynamic of them looking how they are in real life, then that could really work. And to sort of bandwagon what you said about character development, like the thing is, it sets you up with a really good story from the beginning, but then it sort of nosedives into like badness at the second, in the second later half of it. And the thing is too, it's not that hard, or hell, if you look into the fandom, they write a lot of really good shit on like, sorry for the language, on how this story could have happened. The thing is, instead of having like these characters die off or like not have character development later on because they're not in later episodes as the characters, the thing is, it's still an RPG, and what would have been good is in RPGs there's such a thing called a guild, and basically you have groups of people come together and form a group, and that's their guild, and they work together to complete these missions. Then you could have had that for that episode, and one character development you could have had was with the main character Kirito. Basically, he's basically the master among most people in the game, and everyone else is sort of a noob compared to him. That could have been one good character development, where he realizes that maybe he needs a team, where basically you have this, where this guild forms up, and at first Kirito is maybe like not into it because he's always been a lone wolf, but then he grows up, or he grows into having these characters where you actually set up this odd, or this beatable like enemy stacked up against them, and then together they have to work together to defeat that enemy. Or you could also, or here's another story: if they come together as a guild, they could have found this. Once again, an enemy that they can defeat, and then all of a sudden they break up, and then you could use that to character development everyone else to do like maybe a whole montage thing of them training and sort of growing up and becoming like these warriors, or these like basically people who actually form this group who beat actually the level. And then not only that, but then after that you could have done something with them actually like exploring the idea of what the hell, like we're stuck in this game. Like that's another thing that I want to add. Basically, the creator of this game, Sword Art Online, says, "Oh, if you die here, you die in real life." They never explored the storyline with that. Later on in the season, they just went on with just a bunch of like girlfriend boyfriend shit, which was just.
I also like to add on to that, like the whole like you die shit. It does build on a little bit, but then like for some strange reason, like they just forget about it. Yeah, like they don't care anymore. It's like yo. Like, I just want to fucking die now because we're just stuck. And, like, you've seen, like, the episodes before, like, the second arc began. Like, everyone's just like, yo, this level's freaking hard. What the hell do we do? Like, people, like, just gave up. Like, because basically their motivation that whole game was to survive. And, like, freaking not die. Not reach that HP to 0. Mm-hmm. They freaking cut that shit, everything off. And they're just like, it's either, okay, I'm going to sacrifice my body to help you. Or it's either fuck this, just kill me right now. Like, I'd rather die in a video game than feel it in real life.
Or I love you, or you love me, and like relationship BS.
That, and then like the whole, the ending of episode 15, where like they just stopped it. Right, they never even reached 100, and they stop it at level 79. That's like what 21 levels left. They just stopped it, right? They just completely forget about that game. It's just like, yo, okay, you know what? Let's just all just forget this bullshit and let's have this final match anyway. Which is so stupid, in my opinion, because, like, I wanted to see how they would, like, try, like, develop more, If you probably, like, kept on going with this whole game and, like, continue on with these levels, probably there would be more better character development. But then, like, the problem is that they just rushed the living crap out of it. Mm-hmm. and instead they just do like a fucking final match with each other, and like all of a sudden, boom, he's dead, and then you go to a different arc. Which, by the way, the arc in second season or second arc is just fucking horrible. Fairies and freaking like you instead of becoming like a beast of a warrior, you become a fairy, a fucking fairy. Like, and like the first episode of that second arc, it's the controls are like the most complicated shit ever. It's like holding on to a Wii remote and like a nunchuck, and like you control them, and that's like your controls for the wings, and like there's so many buttons to do. Like if that game came out to real life, they probably would have dumped that shit the first thing they get it. You know, it's just I don't know, man. Like character development sucks. Like it just didn't work out. They could have like slowly, you know, like I wouldn't mind having like an extra 20 episodes in that show. Like they just rushed it and just didn't work. You know, there's some animes that, you know, okay, there's 12 episodes here and there, but at least the majority of them, they have like a good character development, unlike Sword Art Online, where they have 25 episodes, so they have enough, but they just rushed it. They put all like 2 arcs into 1 season, which didn't work. God damn, man.
So I guess we pretty much butchered like Sword Art Online for now, so I guess we could continue.
I would like to add on to that. Like I wrote a review. I actually did a review on Sword Art Online. That was actually the first time through though. And like I've actually like made such a, you know, like I made like a fanboy moment where I would say, yo, it's 9.3 out of 10.
But then you watch like the second.
Like cause like the problem with that show is like, yeah, character development sucks, but sometimes you forget all of that because the action, the animation to it was just so cool to watch. The music was fun. That's probably like the most memorable stuff ever. The first song, the ending, the opening, most memorable stuff ever. But, you know, once I got into the second through, it's like, oh, fuck, I'm an idiot, you know? Like, shit. Like, even, I actually admit this. When I watched the second season the first time around, I'm just like, it's not bad. Like, I'll, like, try to survive this through. And I thought, yeah, that's just basically it. It just went boom. It's just like, what happens now? It's like, great. Back into Asuna. She's like the beast of a character in like the first 3 episodes, and now she's just like a bird in a fucking cage, sitting there for like freaking 15 episodes. She's like a freaking damsel in distress already in like 10 episodes. It's just so stupid. It's just so bad. My God, that's how I feel about Sword Art Online. It's just that freaking bad.
To add on with like the female characters, that's another thing that I want to like sort of address. The thing is, they set this character up to be like a strong female character, but then all of a sudden she just goes down like the same path of bullshit that a lot of like female characters go through in anime. Where I feel like in anime, there's a lot of like really strong male characters at the same, but then at the same time, like you see a lot of like characters who have their strong female moment, but then it's not consistent, and then it ends up with these characters just feeling like they have to like support their boyfriend and shit, or like support the male character when they know in fact that they're also badass themselves.
So going to the next topic, have you watched anything lately, like at least anime related, like for the past like 2 months or like 1 week or whatever?
Yeah, I'm sort of like, I'm probably gonna get like a lot of like, there's probably gonna be a flame war with this, but I've been watching like the big 3. For those of you who like probably don't know who the big 3 are,
I would probably be surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you, I'd be surprised if you know what the big 3 are, which are Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. Out of the 3, probably Naruto's one of my favorite, and I know I'm probably gonna get like a lot of shit for that saying that, but the thing is, I enjoy the storyline a lot more than the other ones, especially the fact that like, and probably the reason why like I enjoy the storylines is because like the way that they do the filler, it's at least you could sort of see how it's intertwined with the story, while with like other stuff like with Bleach and One Piece, when they do the filler, it just goes on and on without really sort of doing anything with the storyline, which I probably, the reason why too I like sort of stopped for a while watching those 2 because of the filler. And the fact that like with One Piece, like I watch that shit and then I go like and I stop watching it and then I realize then I get back onto it again and then there's like 100 episodes that I have to watch and a lot of them are filler without still contributing to where the hell this story is going. And
That's the problem, though.
yeah,
The problem with the big three is that okay, at the first we get like the freaking storyline, right? And like, okay, Naruto for one, his goal was to become a Hokage.
which you could sort of see now, like
Yeah, but it takes him 300 episodes. 300 episodes to get through that. Like, we're not even done yet.
but like look at Luffy. It's like taking him like what? Like honestly, it's been over like 500 episodes and he's still not even close to becoming the Pirate King yet.
Yeah, but like One Piece for one, they actually like at least address like their goal, like at least here and there. But Naruto, it's just like we forgot. We forgot that was his goal, his main goal.
Yeah.
Like now, all of a sudden, he just comes out. My goal now is like, okay,
Save
fuck
Sasuke.
yeah, fuck becoming a Hokage. He's like, yo, I gotta save my best friend now. The best friend.
Please, he's not even your best friend.
And now it's not. Now it's like, okay, I meet Sasuke. Okay, forget it now. It's like all about, yo, I gotta save this village. Or it's like, no, forget the village now.
Well, as Hokage, he has to save the village. Like, so technically, like that's
Yeah,
a part of it.
But he still hasn't mentioned the fact that he wanted to become Hokage anymore, like in the show. And then like, if it's not the village, it's the Akatsuki. If it's not that, it's like, yo, I gotta like talk about my past all of a sudden. It's just that, you know, they're not consistent. They just go from one goal to another, and another, and another, and another. It's just annoying. Like, it just mind boggles me, and that's why I just stopped it. Like, okay, Naruto Shippuden episode 45, or what was it, like 65. I stopped it right there. Like, and I stopped right after that because I just couldn't like handle it because like there was no like clear goal path. There's probably build up to that, but like, you know, it takes 300 episodes to build that. That's like, you know, that's like too much development, you know?
Yeah.
Something you don't want in well, for me, in my opinion, in any anime show is like too much. Like, you already know array about this guy, you know? I hate it.
Fair enough. One thing though I'll have to add with Naruto though, like as far as like some criticism goes, I think, well, the stuff with the Akatsuki, like honestly, the thing with that plot line with like the group as a whole, like honestly, they tried making that way too overly complicated for like a storyline like this. Like apparently Itachi killed his entire family, but apparently he did that for the betterment of his village. Oh, Nagato's the villain, he's gonna destroy this whole world, but apparently he was a good guy at some point, and he actually like was Jiraiya. Spoiler alerts, by the way, before I continue on this, but he was apparently like a good guy, and he actually like was Jiraiya's like pupil, and like what the hell, and then all this stuff with like the like with like with Madara, like with Toby, like that too. Apparently, like first everybody thinks he's Madara, but then boom, he's Obito, and you're just like, what the hell? Like like honestly, this is something that I have to address with a lot of anime, like especially the big three. The creators, I'm just gonna say this now. A lot of the creators, I swear to God, they are trolls sometimes. Because honestly, they will build up something, and they will like watch you like get excited for all this shit, and then all of a sudden, bam, they throw something at you, and they just like tear your heart apart, and just like, yeah, that's right, we could do this. You know why? Because we're the creators, and we're just like, and we're gonna keep on doing this until like, we're gonna keep on doing this because you know what? We know you're gonna keep on watching, and we're gonna get you excited again, and then bam, we're gonna like nose dive again. So I'll just say that though about the big three. But the thing is, I'll keep on watching because the thing is, it's the idea of being invested, or yeah, I'm invested in these series. These are series that I watched when I was young, and now like growing up, they're still there, and there's still a storyline, and you just like, it's that thing where you like go through something for a long time, and then you need to like reach the end of it, and once you do, like you feel like there'll be a sense of satisfaction there. So I'll watch that. So I'll keep on watching this regardless of like some of the trolling moments that happen. But the thing is, I know that there's probably going to be like an ending soon because they're building up to an ending. Like for example with Bleach now, like the anime ended because, well, they built up to the Aizen arc, and now spoiler alert again, and they ended off with that, and that's how the anime ended. The manga's still going on, but I think the way that Bleach did it though through the anime, they ended it right there, which is good because that's what they were building it up on, and that's like, and that was a fairly good story arc. And not only that too, but then after it was over, you had a sense of finality that it was done instead of how the manga did, where they introduced a new thing, and now they have to and now Soul Society, Ichigo, and all the other characters have to fight that new thing. At least with like the Aizen like stuff, he was always in the background, even though with like all the continuing storylines. And then once it came up, that's how it ended, which is good. And I hope Naruto does that too, with like the Ninja Great War arc, where everything is sort of resolved through like a couple like next couple episodes with that. While with One Piece though, man, I don't know where that's going. Like it still seems like it has 100 episodes to go.
Like I'll say this for One Piece, it's probably the only anime that'll just keep going until the creator dies. I mean, One Piece is already at what 600 episodes, 6 fucking 100 episodes. It's been made like 20 years ago. Yeah. Manga was made 30 years ago. One Piece still keeps going, and I remember watching One Piece for Kids TV, which, by the way, the opening was just a piece of crap.
The rap opening. Yeah.
It's okay. You know what? It did catch me on for a little bit because that was the first time I watched One Piece, and I never thought that people hated it until I got to see the
dub.
But yeah, One Piece. I see what you mean because they're just it's just like Naruto. It's just like they're on one mission, then they're on another. But the difference between Naruto and One Piece is that they still have that goal in the mind and they didn't forget about it. And
with One Piece though, I have to add on, with Naruto, he has still that goal and it's still there, and you see it building up to there now. While with One Piece though, you feel like it's still gonna take him a couple more 100 episodes until he becomes the Pirate King, or he finds that treasure, or until Zoro becomes the greatest swordsman ever. Hell, what's up with that? Also, Zoro, he wants to become the greatest swordsman ever, and in order to do that, he has to defeat Mihawk, which is the greatest swordsman ever, and then he becomes Mihawk's pupil. To me, I feel like that's not a good way to set up the whole rivalry thing between them. Yes, it's teacher and master thing, but then at the same time, why would, since they're that's the goal that he's trying to aspire to be, why does he knows his shit now with Mihawk, and I don't know, it wasn't, I felt he could have it would have been better if he just trained on his own to become the greatest swordsman instead of training with the greatest swordsman. And but then that stuff is gone now too, because that was his goal, and now it's not even there anymore. And I feel their goals, all the goals that these characters set up, and all with all the different crew members, it's just not there anymore. You feel it's just story arc after story arc after story arc.
Let's see where you're going with that. It's that's just the problem with the big three. It's just that stories are just mixed up. No real goal. That's just the main deal here. It's at least because Sword Art Online, most people consider SAO to them is the end, the gateway to becoming a big three. And with Sword Art Online, at least we get the deal. They're in a video game. They love RPG. Their main goal is to win this and that. Naruto, become Hokage in the actual end. But interruptions made by this group, interruption made by a person, interruptions made by with a stupid snake of a pervert who likes men, Kabuto. That's just how
Sasuke and Itachi,
Sasuke, all that. Oh,
and the weird snake shit with them coming out of their mouths. That's one thing too we have to add about One Piece and Naruto. I guess it's normal in Japanese culture, but then some of the times it's just weird pervy shit that happens in Naruto and in One Piece.
I would like to change the topic now. There's this anime show I've actually been watching lately. Have you heard about My Pet Girl as a Sakura Hall or whatever you call it. My Sakurasou No Pet Kanjo. Ever heard about that? Okay, it's like one of those animes where you don't expect to become so dramatic, but like it is. It's a it's a comedy. At first, it's a comedy show. It like
What's it about?
okay, so like okay, there's a male protagonist. He's been forced to go into the Sakura Hall, a very torn down, messed up dorm because he's not allowed to bring cats into the normal dorms. It's not allowed. So he's been forced to go there with a bunch of like idiots with godly like abilities. The main protagonist, Sorta Kanda, he's just your typical average like boring person. He's so average in grades, average in this, average in that, that his character changes once he enters into that hall. At first, like when he first came in, it's just like I'm with a bunch of morons. One being Misaki. She's like the most she's like really good at making animation. There's a little like inception here because this is an anime show. She loves making anime. And but the problem with her is that she's so energetic in a bad way. Like she would interrupt him whenever he sleeps. She would interrupt him whenever he's in the shower. She would like go up to him, do like some like a little bit of like perverted moments. But like she's so good at doing this anime that he got inspired by her to like, be better at what he does. There's like more idiots there that come along, like a blonde girl, Sheena. She's like the godly. She loves making manga. Another inception there. Like,
wait. I think I've like heard about this like show before. Is it like I guess I understand sort of the inception thing of it. Is it like this normal dude and like he joins like a group of like fanboys or like anime people like that?
It's not like that, but like he joins with a group of people who are so talented at a certain thing. Like one is a great animator, one is a great script writer, one of them's a great artist. Like not only like back to the blonde girl, Mashiro. She's like an artist, manga drawing artist, and she also paints like godly like stuff. Like if you've seen the show, excuse me, if you've seen her show, and like you see her painting, it's just like, yo, I'm looking at freaking Michelangelo or something like that. It's like fucking good shit. And like the problem with her is that she acts like her mind when it comes to like reality, besides painting and all that, she's like a 4-year-old. She doesn't know how to dress up. She doesn't even know how to put panties on. That's she. Don't worry. There's no like nudity in this show. Well, to all you perverts out there, sucks for you. But like,
No offense.
no fan service for you boys. Okay, but like she actually. Oh, there's a little bit, but like there's no nudity to it, which is sad for you perverts. Okay, it's like she actually. But okay, so like she's so like mind blanked. She doesn't know how to like walk. It's like she doesn't even know how to walk, run. And like back to the panty thing. There's a moment where she accidentally like went to school without her panties on and just put on her skirt.
Can we just say like underwear or something? Panties? I feel like something like.
Okay, this show. By the way, okay, if you want to say underwear, but the thing is that this show, they never say underwear, which is the funny thing. They say like panties, like every single.
I guess that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so like, okay, where was I now? I'm already thinking about panties already. Okay, yeah, she comes into school with panties, and like sometimes she would take a shower with her white t-shirt, and you know what happens? You know what happens with that? It's like you can see through it. Okay, so like the whole thing about it though is that like it's like a very slow development in that show. It's like once he enters that hall, it's like a new life begins for him, and like in a good way, because like it's probably like it's so creative. I can't even explain how creative it is because it's so good. But like, even though he's with a bunch of morons with godly like abilities, he's like, at first he didn't want to go because at first he saw them how much of an idiot they are. Once he like realized how like talented they are in a certain thing, he gets inspired to like become like them, like very good at something that he wants to do. And like that's how the show works basically. And like the first season, it's just like, okay, it's just all funny nonsense with a lot of nudity, well, like close up nudity, fan service, no panties and all that. But then like you go to the second season, it's just like, okay, now this is where it begins for this show. And like, I recommend you to watch it because it's actually like different. It's pretty different from like most anime I've ever seen. So, just gotta put it out there,
Yeah, I'll probably like give it like a watch and see how it goes. Speaking of like recommended anime, have you seen? I know this is like an old anime, well, I guess old to us now. Have you seen like any of like the two incarnations of Full Metal Alchemist?
Oh, I've seen
Like
the first one.
like Full Metal, you've seen the first one and you haven't seen the second
I
one.
haven't seen Brotherhood.
Okay, well, if you haven't seen either the first one or the second one, I suggest watching both incarnations of Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. The reason why I suggest these animes is because it's actually both animes are actually super just really good, and I can't commend them enough for making such a good anime. And the thing is, it's sort of been like on the back burner, like from a lot of people who sort of watch other anime like the big three instead of this anime, which is sort of a bit sad because Full Metal Alchemist both series are really good, and it's an example of what anime can achieve as far as being good goes. With the first series, Full Metal Alchemist, you are introduced to two characters, Alphonse Elric and Edward Elric, and throughout their journey in the anime, you feel for them, and you actually end up like loving these two characters. And when you feel their pain, you literally like want to cry and you feel sad. There was one moment.
Yo, I wanted to like bring up this because I've seen the first part of Full Metal Alchemist. Have you seen the part where that girl dies because of that one certain dick? I forgot his name, but like that's where I finally start to break down that show. Holy shit.
Yeah, I saw that part. The character's name was Nina, and like the thing is too, I was like watching it with like my sister, and like her name is Nina also. And the thing is, like she hasn't seen like the first episode all the way up to that part. But then I remember like I watched it and she watched it with me too because she got curious like about the anime, and like she didn't even see like the build up to this point, and she still cried. And that's one thing I have to commend them on. They build up characters that you end up loving and you end up caring for. Hell, Nina was only there for what, maybe 2, 3, 5 episodes, like 3 episodes, and in that time you like developed to love her. And then when it reached the part, spoiler alert, when like it reached their final end, it was just so heartbreaking and so just sad. And when Edward and Alphonse saw her end, you felt for them and you wanted to cry too. And not only that too, but then it's also exploring the idea of the way that she went out, the way that it ended with her. It showed sort of some, I guess, values when it comes down to what the story is about. The story is about alchemy, all right? Basically, alchemy is basically turning something into something else or something like that. That's how it is in real life. But in the world of Full Metal Alchemist, it's basically like you could turn rocks into gold, or you could create people, and that's basically the main driving force behind it. And the thing is, with this at that moment in that series, with this character Nia, there were just a lot of morals and a lot of things that came up with that episode, and it sort of dissected the human idea of creation and the human idea of God, and whether you can be one or you could create your own life without the normal means of doing it. It just explored a lot of things that just made it just so emotionally driven, people driven, character driven, and you honestly felt like this was a show that was written by producers on HBO or creators on HBO, and like they just wanted like this is a show that like just hit the mark and hit the scale. And then when Brotherhood came out too, the thing about Brotherhood, it's a bit less emotional than the first one, but the thing is, it's true to the manga and the manga of Full Metal Alchemist, and I'll commend it on that. Another thing about this anime though too is it wasn't as emotional as the first one, but it was story driven, and each episode made you just wanna like continue and like keep on watching the episodes. I felt like, and I felt like hell. I felt like Christopher Nolan, the guy who created Inception, wrote Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood just because of how like it wasn't overly complex, but then it had like its complex moments where you had to rethink back to what happened before, and like consider how it's all like connected there. And you felt that way too with the first one, but with the second one, it did that, but in a way that like just was action packed as well. Because after the first Full Metal Alchemist, I was sad. I needed like a pick me up, and Brotherhood was that, and it was so good the way that it did it. Another thing about it too is like just the universe that it built up upon, like and like when the show ended, like both shows ended, I was curious. I wanted more of this, and that's like one thing about that anime that's like just made it really good. I wanted more of it after it ended, and like sad to say it didn't continue, but at the same time, like it was amazing. It was both anime were good, and I enjoyed thoroughly watching it over and over again.
I would like to like make a comparison with the character development of Fullmetal Alchemist to what you wanted to talk about badly, which is like Walking Dead or the Game of Thrones. Walking Dead was probably the best comparison. Like, you know, with the Walking Dead, you have characters, some of them where you would just be like, yeah, fucking kill that son of a bitch or get bitten, you know. But like guys, like if you've seen The Walking Dead, to you viewers out there, like, you know, Sophia, you want her to live, but you broke down.
Spoiler alert.
You wanted her to break down, and like you see that with Nina, it's like, fuck, she's dead, son of a bitch. And like that's like a best comparison I can think of when it comes to like anime within something like Walking Dead or like Game of Thrones. Also with like, you know, Elric and Alphonse. Love those two. They're probably like the best combo like in any other anime I've ever seen. Like their relationship together is just so strong. You feel it with them. It's like, fuck, I want a brother like that can just be, well, you know, I have a brother, but like I'm not that close with him. You know, where you go with him every single day. It's not like that. But like with those two, it's just like, yo, bro. It's like, bro, man, I'm gonna get your back, bro. I'm gonna got mines. Like, you know, even though your body's fucked up, I got you, man. It's all good. Like, we're gonna find mom together. It's like, damn, those two, like, probably is one the best like couples. I'll say that, couples. Like, not in a gay way, but like in like a family. Yeah, you know, like best combo I've ever seen. You know, and like I haven't seen Brotherhood, but like I've seen trailers of the show, and like it seems like their bond seems like it becomes even better than it does the first part of Fullmetal Alchemist. And like, shit, I want a brother like that, you know.
I'd like to add with like Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. These two, like, if you go on IMDb, like these two are in like the top 20 highest rated shows of all time. Like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood has a 9.1 on IMDb, which is like a review site. Like that's hard. It's hard to get on like a 9.1 on IMDb. Like, and you know what? Like that's pretty, like I find that really awesome because like it's showing how like good anime can be. Like that 9.1 rating, like this, like for Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, it puts it on like a scale similar to The Sopranos, because The Sopranos had like a similar, I think it had a 9.1 rating there too on IMDb, and it just shows that like that's what I have to commend them on with anime. Like anime, if it's done right, if it's done like
it's fucking like sex.
Like it's awesome. It's like sex for your eyes.
Like sex. It's like if a boner.
Yeah, it's like good sex boner for your eyes. If like anime, it is done right.
Your eyelids
and, like,
got a boner. Your eyelids, man.
Yeah.
Get a nice boner in that one.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, if it's done right, it's just amazing. Which is why like I like wish that there will be more anime that come out like this. Like I think with Fullmetal Alchemist and even Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, like it's one of those animes that comes out like every once in like a while or like once in a generation that just like captivates you and just astonishes you. I think like when we were kids, like the way I could compare it, I think when we were kids, like when we were in grade school or like elementary school, I think Dragon Ball Z or Pokemon, that was the anime for us. But like, and growing up, like as like now that we matured up and sort of understand the concept of humanity and compassion and sort of
It's still one of the best of all time, in my opinion. Probably my top 10.
Yeah, those two anime I mentioned, Pokemon and like Dragon Ball Z, they're still really good, and I still enjoy watching them now. But like, they were good because of like what we were as kids, and the thing is, we like those days.
Who doesn't want to be like a buff?
Who doesn't want to be a Super Saiyan?
That can like.
Who doesn't want to be a Pokemon master? But back to the.
Who doesn't want to become a freaking buffed up person that can like throw a bomb and all of a sudden a planet explodes? Who doesn't want to fly? Who doesn't want to do like a Kamehameha? You know.
Hell, Goku comes back like after like every death. Like he's what? How many times has he died now? The guy is immortal. Like who doesn't want that? Like he sees like his generation, like he sees his great grandson like alive and become a Super Saiyan. Which the logic in that is a bit weird, but still, it was pretty awesome. And like, who doesn't want to be a Pokemon master? Like honestly, like you could pursue your career and everything, but honestly, the moment like genetics figures out a way to create Pokemon, I am like ditching my house and ditching my career, and I'm going to pursue my dream of becoming a Pokemon master.
I would like to also like say that like with this Pokemon show, it's like fuck animal rights. I'm gonna control my animal whenever I want to. If I want him to like freaking shoot out fire beams or like do electric bolt, I will do that, and you're not gonna stop me from doing it. If I want my parents getting shocked by my animal, I'll do it. That's the thing with Pokemon too. It's like, you know, you want to be like a Pokemon trainer because like you tell them what to do and they'll freaking do it. And like, you know, the best thing about that is like, you know, you don't feel bad for these animals because like usually in real life
restore. Like full restore the potion, just give it back to them and they're like they're okay once again. Like they could like they're good. Hell, you put them back in like the Pokeball and like they heal, like you throw them back in, they're fine. Yeah. Hell, the Pokemon what do you call it? The hospital and like Pokemon. You like the Pokemon Center. Just put them in their Pokeballs, put them in like the healing thing, and they're fine. They're good to go. Like they have healing technology. Yes, you could say like something for like animal cruelty, but still like they heal. Like they have super advanced healing stuff.
That's the thing with the show too. There's so much abuse to that show, but the thing is like people's like, well, I don't give a shit. Hard, like, you know, I'll give more abuse to my Pokemon. I'll like abuse it more than you will. It's like a competition like that. The whole point with this whole show is just like, yo,
it's fun.
It's so fun. But you abuse your animal, but like people don't even care. And like it's like, it's like a porno for the animals. I'll put that.
Okay, like no fetish thing. Like if we're not saying we're not like a sadist type of thing, like masochist type of person who enjoys like inflicting pain.
No, like, but like I'm talking about like from the freaking Pokemon side, it's like abuse me more, man. I want to like shoot out bolts. I want to like hug my freaking trainer. I want to like do this. I want to run. I want to like freaking like it's like porno to them. Like whenever a trainer, like if a trainer talks, it's just like fuck yeah, I'm getting a boner from this one. Like I'm gonna enjoy this, and like it's gonna be like, you know, it's like to them it's like sex every day, you know.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I am actually wearing a Pokemon Pikachu toque, and I keep wearing it every day. And like people in college would tell me, "What the fuck are you wearing?" It's like, yo, don't mess with Pikachu, man.
I think he also has like a Charmeleon or like Charmander hat. Yeah. See, like now back on point. Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff. You watch it for fun. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. You watch it to like feel like just a bunch of like emotions and like you want to laugh, cry, and at the same time think. And that's what I'm trying to get at with this series. Also, with Pokemon, Charizard made it triumphant with their tongue-tied. Charizard came back to Pokemon after like so many like long seasons without him. He came back in black and white. However, it was in Japanese, so I'm still waiting for like the English translation for that shit. But it was pretty awesome because in here he came back and fought a Dragon Knight and was pretty badass. Yeah.
No, but like, you know what's badass? Golden hair and like, you know, that aura just around you. I'm talking about becoming a Super Saiyan.
Like Super Saiyan, there's like that energy aura. Like Super Saiyan 1, there's that energy aura around you. Super Saiyan 2, electricity. Super Saiyan 3, long hair, but you lose your eyebrows. I just like to note that. I would go for Super Saiyan 1 or 2, but Super Saiyan 3, no. I don't like losing eyebrows. And Super Saiyan 4, nah, I can't. Too much hair.
Unless if you want to be a Sonic the Hedgehog, then be my guest turn Super Saiyan 3. No, Super Saiyan 4 is the best because you're hairy around your side, but you still look badass. Yo, you're like the most hairiest dude ever. By the way, if you're turning Super Saiyan 4, you turn to a freaking huge freaking monkey first.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, I still like that because, like, I remember in GT, there was a freaking golden monkey, like, fighting off, like, one human being. It's just, yeah, man. And, like, that was the best part. It's like, yo, I want like, a freaking pet like that. It's like a gold. It sounds like a Lucky Charm when you think about it. It's like, you know, golden, a fucking monkey. If you touch it, it's just like, yo, fuck, I'm getting this good luck now all of a sudden. Then all of a sudden, like, you dim down, and all of a sudden you're just, like, hairy. But, like, you know, you could still do, like, a Kamehameha. Like, you do a Kamehameha wave with, like, you know, additional steroids to it. It's like that wave, and then you just drop, like, 1,000, like, pills of steroids, and boom, it's just, like, that fucking amazing. Oh, man.
Yeah. That's our nostalgia, like, coming back, as you could tell with Dragon Ball Z.
Nostalgia. You want nostalgia? Hello Kitty back then was my favorite show when I was freaking 2 years old. Treehouse, Hello Kitty, best show ever when I was a kid. That's nostalgia right there.
Speaking of, like, nostalgia, I think, like, I just want to bring up, like, a TV show called, well, first I have to, like, sort of introduce it. The thing is, like, I had no idea of, like, what anime was when I was a lot younger, but I think the thing that really introduced me was, like, to anime was a specific show. The thing is, for most people, I think it was Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z, but to me, the thing that really introduced me to, like, the anime genre was a TV show called Gundam Wing, and I just want to, like, give respects and shout outs to Gundam Wing. The thing is, it didn't get a lot of, like, good reviews in Japan, but, like, honestly, when it
doesn't want
it went,
ride
yeah.
freaking mecha. Yo.
When it went into, like, the Western audience, like, people ate that shit up, and the thing is, because it was different, it was awesome, it was different, there was mech suits, it was freaking awesome.
By the way, I would like to I would like to point out that, like, the creator of that whole anime is probably, like, laughing at his own, like, peers being like, yo, I told you this freaking show would be this fucking good. Just point that out because, you know, you said, like, Japanese people just like, what the fuck is this shit? Go to Western audience, like, yo, I want to meet this freaking creator and, like, have his babies or something like that. That was, like, you know, he's probably, like, laughing at these, like, people in Japan for, like, making fun of his work, you know.
And then, like, different like, incarnations came out with, like, that show. Did you build it?
No, it broke.
Oh. Anyways, yeah, different incarnations came out with that show, like, later on to Gundam Wing. Like, the thing is, it used to be. There was Gundam Wing, and then there was also G Gundam, which was, like, a way back too. There were so many, like, G Gundams and all that stuff. But one thing I want to, like, just bring up with, like, Gundam was also Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny. The thing with those two animes was, like, it had, like, I guess during when I was younger, it had an overly complicated plot line that I really didn't understand. But watching it back, I could really appreciate too. And similar along the lines with, like, Full Metal Alchemist, I cried too, like, or I had emotions with that show, with Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny. At the same time, like,
Hamtaro's probably, like,
at the same time, like,
the most,
as, like, when Gundam Seed Destiny came out, you sort of
ever.
It's sort
because
of
you get to see
I
hamsters
had
talk
like,
to each other
there too, and, like, I was very emotional with that
freaking,
anime
like,
too. But at the same time,
like,
you sort of came to that
cheeks.
realization that
And,
really
like,
nothing
them
bad
playing
happens.
their
Well,
freaking,
a lot of
like,
things,
wheels,
a lot of bad
like,
happens,
talking to each other,
like,
doing what
to
they
a lot
want
of
to
the
do,
main characters.
like,
At the
just
same
being
time, like,
hamsters.
in the end, it just sort of really resolved.
And, like,
into
you know,
one
I just want to
episode
point out there,
really
like, if you
that
guys
they
haven't
are.
watched Hamtaro, you guys are
Which
heartless, man.
I'm fine with it, but at the same
When you're a
time,
little kid,
it's sort of defeats the
usually on your mind, be
It's
like,
not
yo,
really
fucking
awesome.
watch Hamtaro. Because, you know, Who doesn't want to watch talking hamsters doing some badass shit that we can't even do in human life, but they can do? You know, it's probably like the best kid show's adventure ever.
Cardcaptors, Beyblade.
Cardcaptors, oh my god, the most best. Like, if you see it on Teletoon, if you're a Canadian, watch it on Teletoon. That was the first thing I came from home after school, watching Cardcaptors, watching Sakura kick ass against any type of freaking card monsters and capturing them, becoming their own slave. Best shit ever. Just saying.
As I was saying, Cardcaptors, Beyblade, and Monster Rancher 2. Those were the shit when I was younger. Like, the thing is too, like, during the like, I think this is that with like that and Gundam. These were like the things that really just showed me what like anime was, and this was like pre-internet times. But then, the moment like I saw those three things, I became curious, and then I would go to like my local bookstore and like go to different places and like see stuff similar in the style of those two things, and that's how I got introduced to this universe through those shows. Then it showed me to the manga, and then it showed me to like, and then later on like there was more and more anime, and like I just want like that's the reason why I probably like love these shows so much, because it introduced me to like the world of anime. And not only that too, but then like as a kid, these stuff had like these stories like Monster Rancher and all that, and Beyblade and Cardcaptors. These stories were a lot better than a lot of the stuff that you were watching as like when you were a kid. Like seriously, like yeah.
You can't describe it, but I can, because like as a kid, you wanted to be part of it. Like, you know, freaking doing Beyblades. Who doesn't want to have their freaking Beyblades? Yeah, that just comes that appears, man. Wouldn't that be awesome, right?
They made Beyblades into a national sport, like in the show was, and like they made that they made it into a national sport. Actually, no, not a national sport, a global sport. And like the way that they did it just was so epic, and like they went around the world, and like you just wanted to be on that journey. Like hell, probably most of the characters on that were probably like 12 or 10, but they were going around to like Moscow, Japan, China, just having Beyblade tournaments, and it looked fun. And when like Cardcaptors, you just became like a superhero like overnight, and you were just a kid. And with Monster Rancher, you got put into a game with like monsters and shit. Hell, Monster Ranchers is basically it's like Sword Art Online, but with monsters instead. Like it's like with having monsters as main characters instead. At the same time, it's like a better story. I have to bring that up. Like Monster Rancher, like if Sword Art Online they should have watched Monster Rancher to see how that was, because basically it's about a kid who actually goes in the game and like he explores the game, and there's a storyline with the game too, like that he goes into. Digimon. And he has to explore Digimon too. Digimon. That's exactly what Digimon 2 is, was, man. Like Digimon 2 was the shit, and it was freaking awesome. My personal favorite was season 3.
Yo, going back to Beyblade though, like when he talked about tournaments, I remember a time where like YTV would host a freaking tournament like near downtown, and I would actually like go in and like join up. We had Beyblade tournaments in my school. There's Beyblade. Yo, there's actual like national. I remember there's like national tournaments though here in like Canada, Toronto, and like it's everywhere. But like, you know, Beyblade though, it's not there anymore what it used to be. But like, you know, beforehand, you know, like YTV would host it. It was the weirdest thing though, because like there's a lot of like guys who are like 20 or 30 years old entering it too. So like, you know, when you talk about like kids and like saying it's the best story ever, there's like adults who also watch this stuff, you know, hoping, you know, their bit beast would appear too, or like, you know, it's just that's why shows like this on TV sometimes is better than when you watch it online. Yeah, because it was just like the factor of it. Because like that's what brings everyone together as a group, as like a lover of an anime. And, you know, Beyblades, you know, I've entered it, freaking like sucked in every single like tournament I've been to. Tried doing the Tyson thing where you go upside down.
I did that too.
Stupid move, because like I did that upside down in a freaking tournament. Upside down.
And turn it to get more velocity.
No. Here's the worst part.
Did you do the run? Like, did you actually like go like?
Yeah, of course I did. Who doesn't remember Tyson doing that stuff? Okay.
Run. He jumps in the air and then flips it.
You know what that made me? Okay, that's not even the worst part. Like, I did the entire thing. What made me look like a fool is that you're supposed to go like this and rip it. Well, what I did was like I just ran it, put it upside down, and just ripped it upside down like a stupid idiot I am. And you know what? Like, there was like I think like at least 50 people watching this game, and I'm like, fuck.
I did that too, but I didn't do it upside down. I actually did the movement and actually was successful with. But one thing that I have to do, like one thing I have to add that sort of made me like looking back on, I was probably an idiot for doing this, and I probably ruined a good like couple Beyblades for it. I like because watching the show, you see like the Beyblade going like the Beyblade Stadium. They had like environmental stadiums, and like they were like trees and concrete and all that stuff, and like they were like vines and shit. Well, in my school there was like this hole, like it was a small hole, but like it was like shaped like a dome, like or like it was shaped like a Beyblade stadium, and it had like trees, it had like rocks in it, and it had like vines and stuff like that. And honestly, like the show made me believe like a Beyblade can actually like go on that terrain, and I actually like let it rip on that thing, and my Beyblade got destroyed. It like just bounced from left to right, just like on vines, on dirt, on rocks, and mud, and I was like, yeah. And I'd actually scream like, "Bit Beast, go!" or something like that. Cause I'm a kid. I was a kid back then. Like it was awesome.
Yeah, okay. Like the whole, I remember back to the tournament thing I was talking about. Okay, you know how like in the show the announcer says 3, 2, 1. Well, like when I was running, I was like, yo, 3, 2, 1, and then I'd be like, let it rip, yo, that epic shit, yo. But then like that epic fail happened, and you know what? I said to myself, it's like, yo, it's the Beyblade.
No, you didn't have like. Nah, it wasn't the Beyblade. It was like. Well, okay, maybe it was, and maybe it was like the whole thing too. But like one thing too, like I have to add this for the show. Yo, that Beyblade, like the ones that we're used to, not like the bullshit like Malfusion now. That's just horrible. The original one, like the original, like or the one that we grew up on, like in like North American or an American audience. That Beyblade, that was awesome. And one thing that made it awesome was the music, man. That show had music that just pumped you up for every single Beyblade match. Like,
okay, so like you get up in the morning. The first thing you do, sit in the couch. It's like fuck. Vortex is on. I gotta get on. Yo, remember if anyone of you remembers on YTV, Paula, the host of Vortex, that girl.
There was a lot.
Paula was the first one though. I remember. And like Bionics on Friday.
Yeah.
I think it was like dude with the spiky hair at one point.
AJ.
Yeah, that guy, and then some other guy. Don't care anymore, But like what I was saying, getting back up, like it's not what it used to be. Because like right now, the first thing I'm doing Saturday morning is just fuck this. I'm going back to sleep. Yeah. You're a little kid back then.
Back then, I woke up at 7 and like sneak past my parents' bedroom just to watch. Like, and they got ticked at me for waking up early, and now they're ticked at me for waking up late on like the weekend.
Well, for you maybe. My parents are just like whatever, man. No. Well, actually, for them, it's like, yo, you watch too much TV. And now it's like, yo, you're going out too much. That's like them now for me. But like, watching like 7 o'clock a.m. and then the first thing you see is Tokyo Mew Mew. Yo.
Mew Mew Power, man.
Mew Mew Power, Best, like, it was like Sailor Moon ripoff, but it was still amazing to watch.
It's hard to save the world when you're falling in love. That was the theme song, man. In the English one. It was pretty, like, yo, it got you. Like, it was pop shit, but, like, it was catchy.
Like, I remember, though.
Yo, some anime songs, like, back then, too, like, they did, like, they did, like, their English rendition of, like, some, like, anime theme song. Like, Beyblade had, like, most of their songs on, like, the Beyblade soundtrack was English. But that shit got you pumped up. And, like, same with, like, all the other ones, too. Like, Cardcaptors, that opening, like, I don't know how, like, it was...
Wood, shadow, wood, sword.
Like, wind, wood, sword, shadow, sword, like, sword, thunder, power, sleep, Cardcaptors of the cloud. Like, that... Yeah, that, like, got you pumped, too. And, like, I have to, like, give credit to, like, the American or Western audience or the American people who, like, created those theme songs. And, like, the dubbers. They did an amazing job on that. And I commend them on that, too. It was pretty awesome. Hell, Sailor Moon, fighting evil by moonlight.
That was a long time ago. Sailor Moon, a long time ago, though. But that
still was the shit, too. Like, that was good.
It was sad, though, because I remember at first I thought, yo, this is a girly show.
But then it got dark later on in the season, and she had a daughter. What the fuck?
I remember.
She only like 15.
I remember watching it though, like the first time with my cousins. When I would say this is a girly show, it's disgusting. 3 of my cousins will get up, walk straight to my face.
Slap you. Did they?
Well, no, but like, you know, they give me like these big words. Back then, I wouldn't even know what the fuck they're saying. But then, like, they would say, "Yo, are you gay?" That was like the first thing he would like tell me. And, like freaking like my cousins beforehand used to like freaking.
Yo, I watched it when I was a kid. Awesome.
Yo, their favorite moments is obviously like the whole changing shit where they actually almost go nude.
Perverts. Perverts.
Yo, by the way, there's like so many hentai in that show, like that came out on the internet. Still to this day, Sailor Moon is actually one of the most like searched up hentai like anime whatever in the internet on Google.
You damn perverts.
Yeah, that's like one of those things that you shouldn't know, but like I wanted to point that out. But like going back to like Saturday morning shows, like going to like Shaman King, watching like Ultimate Fighter on 4Kids TV.
Hell, even Ultimate Muscle. No, Ultimate Muscle, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's Ultimate Muscle, yeah.
Hell, that was weird too, but hell, that was good. Like, they took the wrestling.
It's anime pro wrestling for the win. That's what it was, man.
Hell yeah, like, did you see the moves on that shit? Like, the moves, like the wrestling moves on that shit? Like, if wrestlers can do that now, that'd be fucking amazing.
They're probably like being more fans than their like little kids, like best elbow drops ever.
Like coming out from like the sky, like.
Oh man, yo, I think I remembered what else on Saturdays that would happen on YTV. There was like Shaman King. There's a little bit.
Ultimate Muscle. There was Beyblade too. There was
Tokyo Mew Mew all the time.
Hold on, I have to add with like Sailor Moon. Yo, I like look back on that. The animation on that did not age well. At least with like certain shows like Ultimate Muscle or something like that, and like Pokemon, like the animation on that aged well, but Sailor Moon did not age well.
Like, I would say the show where you see like beforehand when you're a little kid, you would think, oh man, they're fucking hot. But then you go back now, it's just like, ew, this animation is like a piece of shit. They look like some like pencil stick like freaks that can freaking do like magic.
I have to add, like, you think Sailor Moon's like a girly show, but like after that, in the later part,
that was one of the first
like that was like the first couple like I guess seasons and like episodes when they introduced the team and everything, and like the romance between like the male character and the female character. Like I guess that's why it's like considered girly. But then later on, like later half of the season, that shit got dark. Like I like looking back, I'm like, damn, did I watch this as a kid? Because honestly, like this, like I should not have been watching that as a kid. Like it was pretty dark. I have to admit too, that had a pretty kick-ass theme song.
Well, like, you say it's pretty dark, but like, you shouldn't watch this when you're a kid, but
Fair enough.
there's like so many like nudity like moments in that show. Like, no, not that much, but there's like so much. There's like every episode, like you see like titties and ass and like, a little veg here and there. I mean, probably when you're a little kid, you're not even supposed to watch it, period. Like I remember there's like a moment when I watched it, like by myself though, and like my parents would come out and know it's like,
the fuck?
It's like, yo, I think we gotta like help our son or something.
Did you like recite the theme song though? Like, like
I remember
Sailor Venus and then like Sailor Mars the fire.
No, I remembered it on the top of my head, but like I can't like.
Fighting evil by moonlight. Something,
I remember.
Love by daylight. Never
I freaking remembers the entire thing.
No, I don't remember. I just remember like some lyrics on the beat, but like the thing is like, it's catchy, alright? And like I found out like, and like the thing is I was having like an anime like sort of just exploration of like the past, and then like I stumbled upon like Sailor Moon, and like the theme song's catchy, man. Like I don't know entirely the lyrics, but I know the beat and the rhythm. Don't judge me.
This is the thing they were talking about, man.
Moonlight.
Oh.
Sorry, we just had to do that, but then like YouTube went weird.
You know what we mean now, right?
But yeah, you know what we mean.
But actually, like, I know most of you viewers out there, though. I barely hear that out there, man.
It told a good message too. Never turn back on your friends, man.
That's the one we were talking about, man.
Oh wait, no. It was this. That's her move. She's gonna do the gun.
Well, there's supposed to be a nudity scene that happens. There you go. Wait. I can't believe you found this on YouTube, man.
No, all the episodes are on YouTube. Like from like I got a kick-ass guitar solo too.
Wait, actually, a kick-ass guitar solo, man. Yo, what intrigues me about this, though, is that, there's like freaking 5 million people who viewed this freaking thing. So I'm like glad like everyone remembers the show.
Cause it was still the shit. Hell, Shaman King too had like a pretty good theme song.
Oh, but like, Shaman King. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so like, I remember on Friday nights, Bionics would come out, and like, there'll be like 3 Dragon Ball series like all together at once. Be like at 7:00 to be Dragon Ball, 7:30 Dragon Ball Z, and then GT comes out afterwards. I remember that. Also remember there was like Naruto right after that. Bionics on YTV.
Hell, Samurai Jack. You remember that shit? That was on Bionics too, along with all the anime. I just want to point that out. It had anime, but then it had Samurai Jack to fill in, like, I guess the American Creation Land spot. But like, the thing is, I just want to like say, Samurai Jack too. That was the shit. That was amazing.
Like back then, though, on Friday nights on YTV, they had like a good lineup of anime that would happen. Like,
shit.
What? Oh, I thought you said it was shit.
No. Now, just to clarify, like,
okay, the only thing that's out there that's anime related is Pokemon and like some other thing.
And it's not even like on a regular basis too.
And actually, Yu-Gi-Oh also on 4Kids.
Well, that was like bullshit too, because it's like
Zexal. I actually still watch 4Kids, by the way, but just for the nostalgia of it, because Yu-Gi-Oh is still there, and like who doesn't want to see freaking Pharaoh, the king of card games,
Just for the thing on Yu-Gi-Oh, what the hell happened with the Kaiba story arc? Because there was supposed to be a rivalry, like with him, with Yu-Gi-Oh and Kaiba, with like the Egyptian thing, and they show that like in some, it showed that with like some flashback thing, but they never explored that. They just went on with like Yu-Gi-Oh getting like back to his time period or shit like that, but they never continued that. But they had like plenty of storylines there to continue on that series. But no, they went on with GT, which was pretty alright, but at the same time, like, they just ruined like. And then
good rivalry.
And like they just ruined a good rivalry with like Kaiba and him, because like that could have been like the ultimate like matchup in the end.
Like it's almost like Naruto, where they just be like, go to this and then forget it and then go to the next one. Yeah, but like
teenagers. Then again, that was us, but we never like showed like angst.
That's all admit though. But like once they moved on to the whole Kaiba thing, it was still like amazing to watch. I mean, the whole like what was it? The part where they go inside the pharaoh's thingamajiggy. The puzzle.
Millennium Puzzle.
I can't even pronounce that properly.
Millennium Puzzle.
Yeah, that's what it's called. And like, that was still like a good show to watch. Back onto the lineup I was talking about on Friday though. Like, they had Naruto, Bleach, Death Note at one point was there.
Once again too, Death Note was amazing. That was a psychological thriller on like, honestly, that was a psychological thriller on the level of Dexter. It's like to anybody, like to all the anime lovers that actually watch like live action stuff too. If you watch Dexter, like that's a good series too, and like I can compare that to Death Note too, because those were sort of along the same basis. And like you could a claim could be made for like Death Note. Like a claim can be made that could be made into like a legit like Vox or like Global or like CBS type of series that people would like genuinely watch, because it is a psychological thriller. And like for the first time, like it was one of the very few animes for the first time that like took itself seriously. Like there wasn't jokes, there wasn't like funny moments, I guess, except for when they introduced Misa and like the thing with like L, but at the same time it was relatively serious compared to like other animes.
I want to put this like on like I'm actually gonna put a joke on this, but like we've seen like so much what yaoi is, right? Like guy on guy, it's like fangirls like loving guys on guys and shit. It's gay shit.
But it's not canon.
But like okay, so like Death Note, putting this out there, when it comes to
yaoi fangirls, like
oh, dude, I'm gonna like let's save that. But I wanted to like say something about Death Note and like yaoi and all gay stuff. Like Death Note between Kira and like L. Like a lot of people like search for that shit. And it's pretty gay, and like that's the number one, like searched up yaoi couple ever. Light, L, like that's the number one. It's so like like when I watch the show, and like every time I see those two together, I couldn't stop thinking about yaoi. Like something gay is about to happen between those two, and that's because that's why. No, but that's a bad way for me, and like I just can't help it. Sometimes like when I watch it, it's just like they're together. It's like fuck, stop thinking yaoi shit, because like I hate the fangirls for doing that. Because like everyone loves like to see like these two having like anal sex together. It's just disgusting. Like to all you yaoi girls, like what's wrong with you? Like us guys don't even talk about Yuri, girl on girl, but like there's like so many girls that just talk about I want this dick up on another guy's ass because it's just so hot. It's disgusting. Like God, L and Kira doesn't work. It's I can't say it. It's just disgusting.
Just to clarify, like we respect gay people. Okay, we just want to we just to clarify that we like we don't like that whole like thing with like Kira and L like fine like. Okay. That's not us bashing gay people. Like we like respect gay people. Me personally, I have like a good friend that's gay. We just want to I just want to like add on. The thing is, you have two characters in a specific story who do not remotely even show like any sort of lust or any like feelings towards each other, and then and like they freaking hate each other. Hell, the very first couple episodes, like Light tries to kill L. All right, and for some reason like that's the thing that sort of really ticks me off when you peg two characters who are enemies who are trying to defeat each other, and you want them to develop a relationship even though there is no like remotely anything like that condone them or that allow them to be in a relationship or any signs of them wanting to be in a relationship. That's another thing too with like Naruto. You do yaoi shit too with Naruto and like Sasuke. Fucking Sasuke wants to kill everybody in the village, including Naruto. And like I guess maybe because of Naruto's like, oh, you're my best friend, and like I have to redeem you and save you in this shit. Fuck that shit. No, alright? Sasuke like wants to like stab Naruto through the heart and like alright? He wants to stab Naruto through the heart and not want to stab Naruto with his penis, okay? That I wanna add that up. Alright? Alright, I wanna say that, alright? He wants to stab Naruto through the heart with his lightning sword and not through the ass with his penis. Alright? So to all the yaoi fangirls that do this shit, like stop doing this, alright? You are ruining my anime, alright? Alright? You are ruining my anime. You are ruining my anime by doing that. You know why? Because the thing is, I can't, like, the thing is, like, I try to, like, stay away from it, and I try not to think about it, but the thing is, like, I would watch it, like, anime online, and then there's comments on, like, the comment sections, and there's a bunch of yaoi girls. Yeah, and they do, like, a bunch of stuff with, like, Light and L and Naruto and Sasuke, and, like, honestly, like, can you, like, just comment on, like, how the anime is, like, don't try doing the romantic thing between those two characters, because even though like how the series is progressing, like they don't even like show any signs of that ever turning out, like, but for some reason you do, and then like you can't like I look down in the comment section to see like how people say how good this anime is, but then it gets like boom, then all of a sudden they're like somebody posts like an image of something
gay shit,
something going on between two characters, like
sexual male shit happening.
Yeah, once again, just to clarify, we respect gay people, we respect gay rights, and like they could and the thing is, if two gay people deserve to be with each other, that's fine. But when you have two characters who do not even remotely show any romantic feelings for each other,
and all
you want to think about is them like just getting it on, no. All right, that's not the story.
Okay, so like, you know, what I said was very controversial, but like it's just like what he said. Like I respect all gay people. A gay guy likes me, and I try as my best.
I think you should put that on there. That's a bit weird. Like that's into personal lives now.
Okay. But like like I respect gay people, but like I'm talking about towards yaoi fangirls because like
Yeah, because like two gay people, like yeah, within the gay community, you have like two gay people, and like they get to know each other. They have a couple of drinks, and like and then all of a sudden like they have fun, and they're like, and then they end up being a couple. But then with the whole yaoi fangirls things, you have like I guess it's the idea of like when a girl actually likes the idea of two guys having like sex with each other. But I guess like that's one thing I sort of like is I guess you're entitled to like anything like you want, like it's regardless of how weird it is. But then at the same time, like when it's pushed down upon like your throat or like no pun intended, when it's pushed down like when it's
push
one
down your throat.
yeah
God,
no
that's
yeah
like the worst way to say it because we're talking
okay
about yaoi.
just to clarify
Push your dick
okay
down.
then let me let me reword that let me reword that all right
Push down your
let me
throat.
let, let me reword that. The thing is you want them like you actually legitimately there are moments where I comment too, but and then you have yaoi fangirls like commenting on that. There's a moment where you guys legitimately believe that they are gonna end up together, even though the show is contradictory to that result. And the thing is, you try defending it so much and try saying like how and try making it believable and try doing all that stuff. That's what that's one thing that I have to say. Like it's not gonna happen. And the thing is, regardless of whatever you say, it's still not gonna happen. But for some reason, you still try to insist and try to like say that this is how it is, even though it's not. Like that's what I have to like that's what I have to comment on. Like with gay people, like they're the gay rights thing. That's understandable because it's them getting equality. But then when you have yaoi fangirls just saying you suck because that's not happening, or you like, I get criticized saying like from yaoi fangirls that like say, oh, you don't believe in gay rights because like you don't like this shit. No, I do believe in gay rights, all right,
man.
but it just doesn't work in the anime.
Like okay, yo, the whole Naruto like Sasuke thing, like the whole stupid yaoi like moment for these guys, like
Fuck, it's even worse with Naruto.
it start okay.
He has a sexy jutsu, man. Like that makes it even worse, man.
Oh, it's not just that. You guys remember, like we'll go all the way back to the start of Naruto where we just started watching.
They kiss each other, yeah.
There you go. You remembered, like the accidental make-out kiss that just happened between Naruto and Sasuke. That started the whole entire stupid Naruto x Sasuke shit. That, like, whenever like I watched Shippuden before, and like whenever I see them together, it's the same thing with L and Light. It's like, God, I can't stop thinking about like freaking wieners like going down like swords or kunais. Like fuck, like
Wieners going down buns.
like
Put it in like a
the
food.
thing. The thing is that
I'm going to Mandarin after this too, so whatever.
you're going to Mandarin too, but the thing is that like, it ruins everything. You guys ruin it. I've seen pictures on my Facebook group, Anime Lovers, which, by the way, facebook.com/group/anime lovers. Check that out.
Just to get a plug-in now and there, just a plug-in on the site.
No, but like, there's a lot of anime lovers watching this, but whoever's not watching it, join my group. It's pretty good stuff there. But like, okay, back to what I was saying. What was I saying now? Yaoi and
like light, and you see them
like it ruins everything. Like whenever I just see it, the first mind that comes out whenever those two come, like, pictures. I was talking about pictures. Like I seen like fan pictures of like two gay men, like
just doggy style.
I had like multiple of that stuff.
Like you're sad, and you have to and since you admit it, you have to like cross it out. You're like,
I had to cross out.
You can't put this on Facebook.
Like whoever, like I had people complain to me about me deleting a bunch of pictures, but that's only because like there's
kids, no, not kids, but there's people on this site there's people on the Anime Lover site on Facebook who might be 15, who might be like 14, all right? And the thing is, when you put yaoi girl or yaoi images on there, we have to delete that. You know why? Or else we'll get screwed over. Actually, no, that's a bad term. Or else we'll get in trouble by some of these parents, or if the parents find out, or anything, or any adult or supervision type of thing finds out that these images are being posted on that site, and a 13-year-old girl or boy or sees that shit, and sees sees two anime characters just going at it in a very sexual way, yeah, basically fap. If they see that and their parents find out about that shit, we are in trouble, and we can get sued, and we can get and we have to go to court for that shit. And because you know why? Because it's intention to show child, we're responsible, and then it's some whole child pornography type of shit. All right, so just to put that out there, please stop posting those images on our site, because it's a lot of hassle to remove those images, because we don't want to get in trouble.
I was going to say, there's a lot of nudity that happens to my site, and there was instance in my group where I've been called out by an Facebook admin or whatever, and tells me, dude, you're you're about to be kicked out for copyright infringement, sexual nudity that happens within the group. I actually had instances like that, and if you anime lovers right now on my website,
not Facebook.
Because I've already announced it on my website, which by the way has a lot of members in there. They're watching this right now. To all you, whatever 100 people are watching this podcast right now.
Are they actually seriously?
Yeah, I'm actually serious. So there's 100, right? 100 people. Don't worry about it. No, not on this website, but in my website, because I embelled the code. Embelled code, whatever you call it. But the thing is that, nudity, great. You're a pervert. Nice.
Nudity, nudity with a live audience, or with a large audience of people who see this shit, gets you in trouble. All right, save that. Save all that stuff to your private self, and hell, do that stuff alone in your room. Actually, no, that's just weird now. You know what? Just save all the weird sexual nude stuff for something else. All right, don't spread it out to the public, especially a public where some members are quite young.
Not just that, there's a lot of people sometimes they just don't like these type of things.
It ruins the anime.
It ruins it. I'm pretty sure all of you, at least the majority of you, have watched hentai once before, and you've seen how fucked up, messed up hentai can really be. There is no storyline to it. All you hear is Japanese girls squealing, acting like they're some pedophile 15-year-olds having sex for the first time.
What was that? Magibon. What was that shit?
Magibon on YouTube. Oh man. Okay, but
she was 26 though.
I know, but
she was illegal. But the thing is, the appeal to her was because she looked young. So yo, you pervert.
By the way, the audience for Magibon at that time used to be 40 to 60-year-old people. Oh man, it's disgusting. And so back to the whole nudity stuff. I made a rule in my group where if you don't get 5 likes for that photo, it does get deleted. For just to protect my group. There's also people in my group who just doesn't give credit, because there's a lot of people who post pictures, right? But then there'll be copyright infringement that would happen, because they're taking credit for whoever's taking or made that picture or whatever. Yeah, right. So just to point out to you 100 people who are watching this, when you post a picture, make sure you give credit at least.
Don't get us sued.
Or you just cross your fingers and hope to God you get more than 5 likes in that picture, or else that shit's gonna get deleted, And I don't mind drawings if it's made by you. I don't mind, if you're a big fan of this anime show, you have to see it. You need a visual preference. You need a visualized thing to see what it looks like. I understand that, But like when you don't give credit, it's just like, yo, we're gonna get in trouble. Make sure when you do it, like, just make sure, give credit. I don't get in trouble again. Group's safe. We all have fun.
All right. I think we just, yeah, I think we be that. We address that as much as we possibly can. So now back on to
Like from Yaoi to this,
Yeah.
by the way.
yeah. So I think let's get back to the task at hand. Anime. One anime I want to recommend is a lot of people probably already know this anime, but at the same time, it's still considered very like I guess an indie anime. Maybe that has to do something with like the way that it was distributed, but the anime that I'm talking about is called Beck Mongolian Chop Squad.
Beck? Oh, Beck. The show.
Yeah, Beck Mongolian Chop Squad. That show too, like that was a good anime in a sense that it was very realistic in the life, because
Life of a rock star.
well, life of an upcoming rock star and like the troubles that come with that, and it was very very believable in the sense that like you just like of like chasing your dreams to be a rock star and like how hard it is and like the social like stuff with it that comes with being in high school and all that stuff. But the thing that also made it really awesome was the music. That of course, like if it's an anime about about rock and roll, you gotta have some music.
You gotta have like freaking good music, or else like if it's just like just mediocre, it's just like
if you haven't noticed, yet, I like really good music with my anime because it just adds a feel for that. So if you have an anime about music, it better have some good music. And I have to say, like the English I know I'm gonna get a lot of bash for this, but I quite like the English dub for it than I do the Japanese dub for Beck Mongolian Chop Squad, just because in the Japanese version, like a lot of the characters tried speaking English, and you sort of it's sort of a bit butchered a bit at the same time too. Like a lot of the songs are in English too are pretty good as well. I like them better. Like I like hearing. I like Japanese song and I like J-pop and all that stuff, but at the same time, like I also like when I'm hearing like an anime song and when I hear watching an anime about rock and roll music and all about like making it big in the music industry, and an anime that like draws inspiration from like stuff like Led Zeppelin and all that stuff.
By the way, Gundam Style is not freaking J-pop music.
It's K-pop.
There's a lot of people who say Gundam Style is Japanese. Screw you, you're an idiot. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, anyways, Beck Mongolian Chop Squad. It's a show where it draws inspiration from stuff from Jimmy Page, from Led Zeppelin, Rage Against the Machines with like characters like Chiba. So basically, yeah, and it also does stuff with blues like and all that stuff. And it has some inspirations from the Beatles and Oasis. So the thing is, like, that's why I prefer it better. I prefer hearing the songs in English a lot better, just because since it draws so much inspiration from English, like rock bands and English songs.
When you like say the preference between English and like Japanese, there's moments where when I watch a certain anime, I would prefer watching in English. There's a lot of people on the internet that would say, "Yo." Exactly. Japanese would be the best. But the thing is that you keep looking down. There's subtitles on the bottom. But you watch more of the subtitles than you do when you look up into the animation. That's just a thing with that.
It's just a preference.
And like, you know what? The people who like say, like, there's a lot of people who just say in general, Japanese is better than English dubs. But like, there's actually some instances where, English dubs are actually not that bad. Dragon Ball Z, for example, where Goku's voice. Props to the guy, the English dubber, who like voice dubbed as Goku, because the dude in Japanese sounds like a freaking like old Japanese grandma screaming at you to like fucking come home. That's what it sounds like.
Hell, Cowboy Bebop, all right. Spike Spiegel sounds so much better in English than he does in the Japanese. All right. Just to clarify that.
Like Pokemon, even Pokemon's a better example too. Ash, even though like they changed like the voices. Yeah, like there's moments where a freaking lady would be the Ash's voice, but she pulls that off well. And like I actually heard a Japanese one, and it sounds like a freaking 5-year-old kid taking a dump.
In
Like,
Naruto, in Naruto, in Naruto, the girl who the one who voices Naruto in the Japanese dub is a girl.
fucking yeah, she's so good.
And same one like the English dub too. The
No. Well, the only thing I find annoying with her, it's like, yo, the fucking believe it shit. I hate that. It's actually so annoying. Anymore. Good thing what he just said. It's not. They don't do that anymore. Thank God.
And just to all that like anime like. I guess elitist. That's the way I could sort of describe it. To those who like say, "Oh yeah, the Japanese dub is better." Hello, you were like a lot of those people. They're in the Western audience. They're in the North American or they're in the American audience, or they're in like the English speaking like audience. And the thing is, a lot of those people got introduced to anime as little kids, and that anime was an English dub. You got introduced to the world of anime through like through English translation anime. And the thing is, you probably all love that, watching that as a kid. And the thing is, now you grow up like and watch it in the dub, because the thing is you want more of it. And the thing is, they haven't come up with the English dub of that yet. So the thing is, that's understandable. But the thing is, the fact that you sort of discredit people who watch anime for enjoyment and enjoy the actual English dub, that's a bit unfair on them, because the thing is, they just like English better. All right, that's just a personal preference. It doesn't have to do with a standard that like, or a hierarchy that you have to put up to be like considered an anime lover. All right, the thing is, like, it's fine in any language, like as it's fine in any language as long as it's done well. All right, so yeah, just stop hating on the English dubs.
Just to make a little point to that, they don't like people who like first started watching anime. I'm pretty sure all of you guys, except for the people who live in Indonesia or like in any Asian country, okay. But like, you know, us Canadians, you know, Americans, whoever speaks English, that like we don't give credit to the guys who introduced us to the anime. Technically, the majority of them, the English dubbers, because if it wasn't for them, we probably wouldn't be into this stuff, because you know the voice acting they did top notch beforehand. Like, you know, Dragon Ball Z, I got hooked onto Goku's voice, you know. Who doesn't want to, like, Kamehameha, like, scream like that, you know? When he turns Super Saiyan, it's the best shit ever. Like, he screams. It's the best, you know. People don't give credit where credit's due for these English dubbers.
Super cool, like, deep, like, jazz
that's just the thing with, like, you know, people nowadays. Like, they just kind of tick me off. Like, yeah, good for, like, if you think it's good, okay, I'll give you that. But like, you know, people in general just keep on bashing, like, you know, like in general they'll just bash them. Like, even if it's good English dub, they'll just say, no man, try Japanese. So much better. But like, you know, like there's gonna be instances where, you know, English dub is an actual good anime, you know. Just want to say that.
So yeah. Yeah, it's pretty long.
We'll stop it right here, man. Thank you to like probably like 50 or 100 people who watched it. I freaking sent out like freaking 6,000 messages on Facebook to come to my website and watch this podcast. So I'm thinking there's gonna be at least 50 to like 100 people watching it. But yeah, thanks for watching the very first episode. Whoever's viewing this, congratulations. You are one of the first people who watched our podcast. Congratulations. Hope you enjoyed it. Even though we only had one microphone, there were some technical difficulties that happened. You know, there's some little controversy, you know, between here and there. But you know what? Thanks for sticking out with us. If you guys are still there, I am the creator and the admin of Anime Lovers. Don't forget facebook.com/groups/anime lovers. Don't forget to join us and have some fun and little discussions with us in our group. I am John Larry. He's JV Pascoa.
And we're off.
Oh, man.
Dude, why do you have to say my last name, man?
Dude,
he said his last name before. So.
Yeah, I said your last name how many times, man?
Yeah.